I grew up in a company which had CSR ingrained into it. And we were very proud of our afforestation programs across the nation, and we kept on building. And when I became managing director and I looked at the global company and their vision and their commitments, it was very clear to me that we needed to move on and adopt ESG as soon as we can, because at that point in time, even CSR was not widely known. It was practiced by few companies, but it was philanthropic. But when we looked at the Millennium Development Goal, we achieved it with a lot of success as a country because the government pushed it and the targets were reasonably easier than ESG. When we look at the ESG targets, it's very, very clear to me at that time that one company or few company or a group of companies cannot actually pull this thing together. Even the government on its own, if it just keeps on pushing, it's probably not going to happen. So that's why at the early stage, we found a few sponsors, supporters, and actually had the first ESG session. Very humble start, and I'm so glad that today we have quite a few sponsors, supporters, and it is actually gaining traction. So in simple words, yes, ESG is something very, very important. It is no longer a nice thing to do. It is not a charity. It is something for our survival in the future. Not only as commercial entities, I think as nations and humanity overall. I'll try to shed light on a few things that where we are. Now, one thing we need to all realize that it was a target till 2030, if I'm not mistaken. Very clearly, precisely mentioned what are the things to achieve. And only 5 years left, guys. So early in my life, I had a friend who actually plays cricket with me. His number on the back is 33. And you ask him, like, why your number is 33? He says that that's the pass mark that you have to get to qualify. And those of us who come from the Bangla medium, that's the number you have to ensure. Of course, you shoot for the stars. Sir will actually probably say, what are you talking about? But that's the bare minimum. First of all, get there. Now, if you put that as a benchmark and say that, okay, fine, that's the passing mark, and then look at the SDG targets and look at the time horizon of 5 years, then you try to figure out which one of them am I going to pass as a nation. And most likely you will see that we have some progress. We are not that bad. Okay, yes, we have some progress. We have done well in the economic front. Actually, I looked it up. There was a green tick on it. So we are actually doing okay. Maybe we can do a lot better. Of course, we aspire to do a lot better. But it's looking okay. But maybe another 5 years, we'll have a better momentum. We'll get there. Then if you look at the social indicators, it starts to look amber. It's not entirely there, but it's amber. But if you feel like, okay, I can put in a bit more effort and probably get across the line on that one. But when you open the chapter of environment, it's all reds. And it's scary because we are actually at the bottom 5-ish type of a number. The thing that scares me most is we have made progress on all 3 of these indices in the last 10 years or so. But why are we at the bottom? Were we actually at the bottom on most of these indicators when we started? The answer is no. Which means our competitive set of countries are actually doing far better than us. Our ranking has been consistently sliding. and especially on the environmental sector. Every single year, we have slid a few points, and now we are actually at the bottom. Why it is so scary? Because we may, if we don't get our acts together, will we be the last number in the nation's list on the environmental front? So going back to my friend's point, if you don't get the pass mark, that sticks out. Doesn't matter what you get on the other indices. That becomes your pain point.